Hi friends, so let us understand how Newton's rings can be formed. Let us say this is a plano-convex lens kept on a plain glass plate. Now here I am taking an incident monochromatic light. Let us say AB is the incident monochromatic light. At B, when I say at B, what is B? B is nothing but glass air boundary. Here you have air, because here you have air, here also you have air, here it is glass. Now B means, B is the point where you can find glass air boundary. From here, the light gets reflected. And then from here it emerges out. Let us call it as ray 1. So there is no phase change here. Another part is very interesting. It is refracted along into this. Now what is C here? C here is air glass boundary. Carefully observe. C is, this point we call it as C. C is air glass boundary, B is glass air boundary. Means when you say B, it is coming from glass to air. When you say C, it is again going back from C to glass. That is air to glass. Now here, it gets into the glass and emerges out. Let us call this as ray 2. These two will interfere to form the fringes. Here you can find, because there is a change of medium here, so actually it is an additional phase change, pi additional change will be there, or lambda by 2 path change will be there. So this is how it gets reflected. Whenever a monochromatic light is incident, at the glass air boundary it is reflected back and emerges out. And the other part is transmitted from glass to air again. From air to glass, there is an additional phase change or a path change, and then this gets reflected like this and emerges out. These two will interfere constructively to form bright fringes, destructively to form dark fringes. This is the basic idea of the formation of Newton's rings. Where do you observe the rings? You have to understand, rings are observed in the reflected light. What is the path difference? Path difference is equal to 2 mu t cos r plus additional change phi means path difference lambda by 2. Now you are talking about air film. When I say air film, automatically mu is equal to 1. So if it is incidenting normally, so when you say normal incidence means angle of reflection equal to 0. Therefore, path difference will become, substitute r equal to 0, mu equal to 1. R equal to 0 means cos r, cos 0, and path difference will be 2 mu t cos r. Cos r equal to cos 0 1. So path difference will become 2 mu t 2t plus cos r. 2t plus cos r is y. Mu is equal to 1, r equal to 0. Cos 0 1, mu equal to 1. Therefore path difference become 2t plus cos r. Now if you see the diagram, at the point of contact, that is at here, the thickness is 0. So path difference is lambda by 2. That means at the point of contact, t equal to 0, path difference is lambda by 2. Now what does it mean? The reflected light at the point of contact suffers phase change of pi. See, at the point of contact, here it is contact and thickness is 0. It is reflecting with a pi change. So phase change is pi. Then as phase change is pi means it implies both the incident and reflected lights. Then these two will become out of phase. Out of phase means they interfere destructively. So therefore central spot is dark. This is very, very important point to be understood. In the university examination also you will have a question, why the central spot of Newton's rings should be dark? I am explaining. Listen carefully here. Here we have seen the monochromatic incident light at the glass air boundary without any phase difference. It is reflecting and emerging out like this. Part of it is transmitted, refracted, and from here, from air glass boundary, it emerges out like this. These two are interfering. So here you find an additional phase of pi. Whenever there is an additional path difference, pi means phase difference pi means path difference lambda by 2. No? So that same thing we applied here. So rings are observed in the reflected light with a path difference of 2 mu t cos r plus additional path difference of lambda by 2. Now you are saying air. For air, refractant is mu is equal to 1, and when the light is incidenting normally, so angle of refraction r equal to 0. So when you substitute r equal to 0 and mu equal to 1 in this equation, this becomes 1, this becomes 0. This is 2 into 1 into t into cos 0. So that becomes 2t. So it becomes, the path difference becomes 2t plus 2t cos r. So 2t cos r means 2t cos 0, 2t plus cos r. That is the difference. Okay. Now at the point of contact, if you see here or here, the thickness is 0. At the point of contact, thickness is 0, path difference is lambda by 2. Okay. That means the reflected light at the point of contact suffers a phase change of additional phase change of pi. So phase change of pi means these two rays will go out of phase. So when they go out of phase, interference is destructive. Therefore at that point of contact too, destructive interference is taking place. That means the fringe or the spot forming there due to destructive interference is dark. So that is the reason why the central spot is dark. So that is what I wrote here. So at the point of contact, thickness is 0, the path difference is lambda by 2. That means the reflected light at the point of contact suffers a phase change of pi. So incident, and that means both the incident and reflected light will be meeting out of phase. So whenever they are meeting at out of phase, in out of phase, the interference will be destructive interference. Hence the central spot of Newton's rings formation always is a dark image or a dark spot. That means, let us look at the condition then. So what is the condition? Condition for bright image or bright spot is 2t plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. So send lambda by 2 to the right of this term. So this becomes 2t is equal to n lambda minus lambda by 2. So if you simplify this, 2t will become 2n, calculate the LCM, 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. Here n is equal to 1, 2, 3. So 2t equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. This is the condition for the formation of a bright spot or a bright ring or bright fringe. Similarly, if you look at the condition for dark fringe, 2t plus lambda by 2 is equal to 2n plus 1, half integral multiple I told you, no? So 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. Now if you simplify this, you will get, by sending lambda by 2 to this side and then taking LCM and simplifying, you will have 2t is equal to n lambda. Here n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Remember, in the case of dark fringe, you will have n equal to 0 also coming. In the case of bright fringe, you will only have n starting from 1 only. So here important point is to be observed. Now you are taking monochromatic light. So whenever you take a monochromatic light, and when you talk about bright and dark rings, so for a monochromatic light, bright and dark rings, both of them, they depend on thickness of air film. So formation of bright and dark rings always depends on how much thickness the air film that is forming is having. That is very important. So therefore, if that is the case, you are talking about Newton's rings and treat this as a system, an experimental setup. Now if you take the locus, suppose I have taken a film where the thickness is uniform. So I will draw the locus of all the points of same thickness. So locus of points having same thickness. What will happen? Points, if I go on identifying the locus of all the points having same thickness, that automatically lie on a circle. That circle having its radius at the center of point of contact. What does it mean? Look at here. Suppose I have taken an area. So here the film thickness is common. Say same. Everywhere if I take, thickness is same. Everywhere I will take, thickness is same. When I take same thickness points, and if I try to join all of them, they all line on a circle. That means here I am taking thickness is same. Okay. So wherever I take, thickness is same. When I draw all the points and then trying to draw a locus for them, it appears from top when you view that when they appear to be lying on the circumference of the circle with the center at the spot. Okay, that means in a Newton's ring system, the locus of points having same thickness lie on a circle having its center at the point of contact, and that is the reason why we get bright and dark circular rings with the point of contact as the center as a spot. So that is the reason why Newton's rings looks like concentric circles. So this is the important point you have to understand as far as explanation of formation of Newton's rings are concerned. Now we have to understand how can we calculate the diameters of both dark ring and bright ring with the help of a small theoretical concept. Now I want to find out diameters of both dark and bright rings. To find the diameters of both dark and bright rings, what I will be doing is, diagrammatically I am trying to explain with the help of a picture here. Let us say on a glass plate, this is the glass plate P, I call it as P. On that we kept a lens. Let us call this lens as L. On it, such that the convex surface of the lens is placed as a part of spherical surface. So this circle, let us say, this is a part of a sphere, let us say. Imagine this is a part of a sphere with C as the center. So spherical surface is touching this. Now let R be the radius of curvature. So when I say R is radius of curvature. And I am taking small r also. This is radius of ring. Small r is radius of ring, capital R is the radius of curvature. Okay. You can draw diameters both horizontally and vertically. Now let us call this point as A, this point as B, and this is the normal. Okay. Now let us say up to here you have 8. Up to this point, let us call this area, this is of thickness T. Okay. So this point I am calling as smaller. Up to that point ring can form. Understood? I am again repeating. In order to find the diameters of both dark and bright fringes, I have kept lens L placed on the glass plate P. The convex surface of the lens is a part of a spherical sphere, spherical surface with center at C. Let capital R be the radius of curvature and small r be the radius of the ring corresponding to the film thickness of small t. This is the air and this is also air. This is the thickness of the air film. Now you can take, this is a normal. Now if you see the diagram, I am using property of a circle. What is the property of a circle if you take? This point you call it as O. Okay, thickness at the point of contact. This point you can call it as D. Property of circle says, because these two are perpendicular diameters, no? So what is the property of circle says? NA into NB is equal to NO into ND. Clear? Using the property of the circle, NA into NB is equal to NO into ND. That is the property I am trying to make use of it. So using the property of circle, what is the property of circle I am using? NA into NB, that is equal to NO into ND. So what is NA and NB? Let us see. If you see the diagram, NA into NB, this is nothing but, if this is R, this is also R. This is R into R. So this implies NA into NB. That means substituting the values. If you see here, if you see the diagram, what is NA and what is NB? These two are R only. Now what is NO? NO is nothing but the thickness T. And what is ND? Now if you say ND, this is T. This is 2R. Radius of curvature is taken as R. So therefore up to OD minus ON is ND. Na? OD minus ON is ND. So OD minus, we want in the formula ND value. How can you get ND here? Now if you see this, ND is nothing but OD minus ON. ON is the thickness. OD means radius of curvature is taken R. It's full diameter. Therefore it becomes 2R. So therefore in my equation ND becomes OD minus ON, that is 2R minus T. So my ND value is 2R minus T, my NO value is T, my NA and NB are R. Therefore if I substitute all the values in this equation, then I will get R into R is equal to T into 2R minus T. That is the expression we have. Now expand. R square is equal to 2RT minus T square. So in this, what is T? T is nothing but the thickness. So the thickness of air film is very small. That means T is very small. If T is very small, T square also can be very small, which we can neglect. Mathematical drama only all this is. So here, as T is small, T square can be neglected. Now in this equation, if you neglect T square, you will be left with, that implies R square is equal to 2RT. If you neglect T square here, then you will be left with R square equal to 2RT. So from this you calculate the thickness. 2 is equal to R square by 2R. This is the important condition you have to remember. T equal to R square by 2R. Now take the bright ring or bright fringe. So what is the condition for that? It says 2T is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. Right? Here for t you got this value. Substitute r square by 2r for t here. So that means 2 into r square by 2r is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. Okay. Now simplify. You will find r square as 2n minus 1 into lambda r by 2. Now, small r is what? Radius. It's nothing but diameter by 2. So replace small r as d by 2, that is diameter by 2. So you can find diameter of nth ring, let us say. The r square means d by 2 whole square, that is d square by 4 is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 into lambda r. Now you can substitute from this, you can find d as square root of 2n minus 1 into square root of 2 lambda r. What I have done? Cross multiply this. This becomes 4 into 2n minus 1 by 2 into lambda r. That is 2 into 2n minus 1 by into lambda by r. D equal to square root of that. If you simplify that, d you will get as square root of 2n minus 1 into square root of 2 lambda r. So if you take out this equation, you can write as proportional to. Lambda is constant, r is constant for this experiment. Therefore, this constant can be taken into proportion. So you will get d is proportional to 2n minus 1. D is proportional to 2n minus 1 means d is proportional to square root of 2n minus n equal to 1, 2, 3 only. No? For bright fringe, conditions are n equal to 1, 2, 3. Therefore, 2n minus 1 means square root of odd natural numbers. These diameter is proportional to square root of odd natural numbers. So from this we can conclude that you got d is proportional to square root of odd natural numbers. Diameter in the case of a bright fringe. So therefore we can say diameter of bright ring are proportional to square root of odd natural numbers. Clear? Let us take dark ring. Excuse me. If you take dark ring, what is the condition for dark ring? Dark ring condition is very simple. 2t is equal to n lambda. 2t is equal to n lambda. So for t, you can substitute what is t found to be. T we calculated as r square by 2r. So substitute t is equal to r square by 2r here. You will get 2 into r square by 2r is equal to n lambda. That means r square is equal to L lambda r. So what is r? R is equal to d by 2, diameter by 2. So r square means d square by 4. So therefore d square by 4 is equal to n lambda r. D square is equal to 4n lambda r. So d is equal to square root of 4n lambda r. So bring out 4 outside. So d is equal to 2 into square root of n lambda r. Lambda is constant, r is constant, therefore you can replace this equation as d is proportional to 2 is constant, square root of n. Now in the case of dark fringe, the condition 2t equal to n lambda, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So that means when I say square root of n, this implies d is proportional to square root of natural numbers.